Hello everyone, my name is Andrew AJT and welcome to SM64 Speedrunning Oddities. So these are some strange things that have happened to me while speedrunning Mario 64 that some are not very well known and some are fairly well known, but I think there will be something new for almost everyone in this video. So I play on the Wii Virtual Console version because it has faster lag and loading times and I can use a GameCube controller. But there is a strange thing that happens sometimes, very rarely on this version, known as a VC freeze. Sometimes the game just randomly freezes for about half a second. You saw one there in Tiny Huge Island, and here's another one. It's very strange, I don't know why it happens, and it seems to happen most often when I run the 31-star category, and the freezes themselves seem to happen more often in Lethal Lava Land and Shifting Sandland, but I've also had them in Tiny Huge Island and Dire Dire Docks. They can also happen during loading zones, so that was a normal loading zone for going into the pyramid, but watch this next loading zone and how much longer it takes for some reason. The screen fades to black and then it just doesn't load for like an extra half second, which I assume is the same glitch. It seems to happen in this area very frequently because this was a normal loading, but then watch this, I jump for the star, and the game froze for like half a second, so I don't know why that happens, and it doesn't really matter, it doesn't usually affect gameplay. The game just resumes as normal, so unless it messes up your jump or something, it doesn't tend to matter, but I just thought that was interesting. So most of the glitches in this video won't actually be console specific, but I did want to show another console specific one here in addition to the Virtual Console freezes. So look at King Bob-omb's foot, it's all glitched for some reason, and this is a very strange glitch because it also does not always happen. Sometimes his foot is normal and sometimes is glitched, and I've also noticed this with the other Bob-ombs, including the red ones. It seems very random and I don't know why it happens. And this seems to happen maybe around 20% of the time if I had to guess. But basically his foot is just glitched and stays that way for most of the fight. I haven't seen this happen on the Wii U or Switch 3D All-Stars version of the game, although unfortunately those versions have more input lag than the original Wii version, which actually has less input lag than the original N64 version. So in the 70-star category, it's a very common strategy to race this big penguin while trying to collect 100 coins. So we start the race with the penguin, and the goal here is to collect 100 coins by the end of this race, and that will allow us to get the 100 coin star, in addition to the star we get from defeating the penguin in the race. But something very strange happens, and this has happened to other people before, but it's extremely rare. Basically, the penguin at some point during the race falls off the slide, and that means that the star is unobtainable. So here we go, we are getting our 100 coin star here. But around this point, the penguin should be finishing the race, and unfortunately the penguin is nowhere to be found. He should have finished the race at least a few seconds ago, but he's nowhere to be found, and there's nothing you can do if this happens. The run is pretty much over because it's about a 1-minute time loss to re-enter the stage and redo the race, so it's a very rare thing that happens. I would estimate maybe 1 in 100,000 if I had to guess. It could be even rarer, and it can happen on the N64 version. I've heard that the race starts slightly quicker in the Virtual Console version, like the penguin starts moving sooner, but it's happened on the N64 version as well, so it's definitely not console specific. So that run died because of that glitch, but thankfully I've gotten a much better run for 70 stars since then. This was strange. In Whomp's Fortress during the 100 coin star, I did a triple jump and I just fell right through the stage. Perfectly normal thing to happen, I guess. In the final Bowser stage, there's these sets of 4 platforms connected by this green diamond-shaped thing, but the diamond-shaped thing actually has incorrectly programmed collision. It's actually attached to one of the platforms, so sometimes when you go to long jump off of one of these platforms, you can bonk into it. You see how there my long jump kind of got negated almost. It just randomly lost all momentum. Here it is again. Sometimes you can actually bump into that thing inadvertently and it can kill your run. My long jump should have went much farther there. Thankfully you can prevent this by long jumping earlier. So the 100 coin star always spawns above Mario, but sometimes it can spawn in unfortunate places. This 100 coin star actually spawned out of bounds in the ceiling because I grabbed the final coin right when I was next to the ceiling, and unfortunately this ended a 120 star run because there is no way to grab that star as far as I know. Maybe a task could do it with BLJ or something somewhere, but this run was over because I could not get that star. I would have to redo the 100 coins. So there's a very annoying glitch in this game known as invisible walls. In certain places you can just bonk in midair like that on seemingly nothing. I believe it has something to do with the collision below where you bonked, and these tend to only happen if you have a very precise angle or position. There's some invisible walls that are known to happen a lot in certain places, so it's actually worth going out of your way to avoid them. But there's sometimes when they just happen in completely unexpected places and there's not much you can really do about it. There's also invisible ceilings, so watch my first long jump on this wavy platform. Look how it got like no height for some reason, and that actually was a bit of a time loss in this 16-star run because I lost all my momentum there and I really had no idea how to react. I've done that long jump countless times and that invisible ceiling has only happened to me one other time. So this is somewhat well known, but there is a fairly rare occurrence during the Infinite Staircase BLJ where Mario will get too much speed and he'll actually start flying around the room after pushing the air. Thankfully, if you react quickly enough when this happens, you can fix it. If you start holding down and jumping when you notice Mario pushing the air, you will actually preserve your speed and still go up the Infinite Staircase. While we're here, here's an example of the glitched feet with the normal bob-ombs. These ones have regular feet, and this one has glitched feet, and again, I don't know why this happens. I've also noticed it with the bob-omb buddies as well. I couldn't seem to get this on video, but sometimes in the death barrier below Bowser in the Sky, I'll see a shadow down there for some reason, and I don't know what that is. I know that there's an impossible Goomba inaccessible to the player in this stage, so it could be something to do with that. So a lot of people know about this Luigi star statue, but a lot of people don't know that you can actually BLJ off it, and it's very precise to actually land on it in a spot where you can BLJ, but unfortunately it doesn't really have any use, but it is pretty cool. So the holy grail of speedrunning for this game is a trick known as Carpetless. Basically the big house in the sky star in Rainbow Ride normally requires 3 carpet rides to access. The first 2 are very possible to skip, which I'll show you here, but the third one is almost impossible to skip. But if you could find a consistent way to do it, it would save around a minute in a 120 star speedrun. So there is actually one known way to do it by a human, which is using a trick with a bob-omb, but it's very difficult and it's not really viable for a full game speedrun, and very few people have ever done it that way. But you can actually get very close just by doing some clever jumps. So with some good jumps up to the top of that structure, we can use a warp to get to the house itself, and all we have to do is just find a way to get on top of the house. From the entrance of the house, we can do a triple jump wall kick to get up onto this platform, and then a triple jump dive to this platform, and then we can even go further. We can get onto the window of the house by doing something called a chain long jump, a long jump in place into a extra distance long jump to a wall kick and ledge grab, and now we're on the window. And there is actually a way to get even further. With a very precise trick known as a glitchy wall kick, you can actually wall kick and Mario will go forward instead of backward. This takes a lot of tries though, and even if you get it, you can't go any further. To actually get up there, you would need to do a glitchy wall kick at a very precise angle, and then do another glitchy wall kick. There's the glitchy wall kick right there. You would need to do a second glitchy wall kick at a different angle, and then you could just barely make it onto the house. But unfortunately, no human has ever done this. Only tool-assisted speedruns where they play the game frame by frame can actually do this. Knowing the history of this game though, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody finds a consistent way to do this on console in the future. I did notice a glitch with the other window of the house, where you can actually long jump from the house back to one of the starting platforms, and the camera will be like stuck in the house. It doesn't want to follow Mario no matter what. And this isn't useful or anything, and you could already do something similar to this with the lock camera in the pause menu, but I just thought this was really strange how the camera just does not want to go to Mario. Even if you go into Mario Cam and go back out to Lakitu Cam, the camera is still stuck in the house. I guess the developers figured no one would ever leave the house successfully other than taking the warp, so they just made a special camera for it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if you enjoyed or if you have any theories about some of the oddities in this video. I thought this was pretty cool. This was over many months of speedrunning this game, these clips, so I figured it would be good to make a video showing all of them here. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this as well. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. And you can also see all my Mario 64 speedrun videos in the playlist in the end screen and description. Thank you all for watching.